Hello everyone, today we are going to discuss about power efficiency of AM signal, bandwidth of AM signal, types of amplitude modulation. So this all three topics coming under amplitude modulation within communication theory. So myself, Dr. Arun, we are going to discuss this particular points in this particular video. Major resources of communication system. So in any communication system, the two important resources are available. So both the resources are transmitting power and bandwidth. Whenever we are going to design a station or design any one modulation technique, the major focus towards transmitting power and bandwidth. We have to save the maximum power and also we have to save maximum bandwidth. That is the main objective of different types of modulation. When we are going to save the power, obviously the corresponding overall cost of the station or cost for that particular modulation technique will reduce. So if you are reducing the bandwidth, the number of radio stations will increase. So a number of customers or number of radio stations will increase while reducing the bandwidth. As per this particular amplitude modulation, when we are going to reduce a bandwidth consumption for each and every station, the number of stations will increase. So that's why we are moving towards the different types of modulation or different types of amplitude modulation. So the first one, power efficiency. What is the main objective of calculating the power efficiency of any modulation technique? When we are consuming 100% of power, how much power utilized to transmit the original information? So how much power consumed by the carrier? So we have to calculate the power efficiency of any modulation technique. Then we know that how much of power consumed by the message transmission and how much of power consumed by the carrier transmission. As per amplitude modulation, the power efficiency calculation, the formula is available. So the power in sidebands divided by total power. As per the frequency spectrum of amplitude modulation, you know that three different components are available. One is called upper sideband, another one is lower sideband, the center one representing the carrier signal. The three components or three frequency components are available in the amplitude modulation. Out of these three components, the lower sideband and upper sideband having the information, the carrier not having any information. So that's why in the numerator they are represented power in sidebands divided by total power. So here multiply with 100 to calculate in terms of percentage. Okay, so the lower sideband power plus upper sideband power divided by total power multiply with 100. You know the equations of what is the lower power and what is the upper sideband power. So the lower sideband power m square Vc square divided by 8r. Similar manner m square Vc square divided by 8r, because both the amplitudes of upper sideband and lower sideband is same, divided by total power Pt. So Vc square divided by 2 or 1 plus Ma square divided by 2 multiplying with 100. After simplification, we will get the final equation as efficiency equal to m square divided by 2 plus m square multiply with 100. M representing modulation index. So this modulation index, how much percentage of modulation that will be decided. We are assuming now the modulation index is 100%. Then small m is equal to 1. Substituting that small m equal to 1 in this particular formula, you will get efficiency equal to 1 by 3 multiply with 100. The resultant value is 33.3%. So that means in the amplitude modulation, the power efficiency is only 33.3%. That means the message consuming to transmit or transmitter to receiver or reach transmitter to receiver, it will consume only 33.3% of the power. The remaining power, almost 67% of power consumed to transmit carrier. So in this particular moment, we have to think about why not we can remove the carrier. What is the corresponding consequence while removing the carrier signal? If you want to save power, we have to remove the carrier signal. At the same time, here we know that the two sidebands are available, lower sideband and upper sideband. Both the sidebands are having same information. Whatever may be the information available in the upper sideband, the same information is available in the lower sideband also. So then we have to think about any one sideband is sufficient to transmit your original information signal to a long distance. So at the same time, what is the consequence while removing the one sideband within this particular frequency spectrum? So the bandwidth of AM, the conventional method of AM, having double sideband full carrier. So three components are available: lower sideband, upper sideband and carrier signal. The bandwidth is calculated the difference between upper sideband frequency minus lower sideband frequency. You will get that what is the total bandwidth consumed by each and every AM radio station. So that will be calculated by subtracting the upper sideband frequency minus lower sideband frequency. So the resultant output is 2 FM. The bandwidth is called 2 FM. So FM representing what is the corresponding message signal frequency. M representing message, F representing frequency. The message signal frequency decides how much of bandwidth consumed by each and every AM radio station. If FM increases, the bandwidth will increase. So in this moment, we have to remember, based on the carrier, the bandwidth is not impacted. So that means there is no change in the bandwidth based on the carrier frequency. So now different types of amplitude modulation. Then our focus is here we are different types of amplitude modulations are represented. The first one is called conventional method, AM double sideband full carrier. The second one is AM double sideband suppressed carrier. The third one is AM single sideband suppressed carrier. The fourth one is vestigial sideband modulation. So this second to four, the three types are the special types of AM modulation. So the modified version of the conventional method of AM double sideband full carrier. So that is called double sideband suppressed carrier, single sideband suppressed carrier and vestigial sideband. So here what is the main points present in this corresponding different types of amplitude modulation? Where the main objective of different types of modulation already we are specified to save transmitting power. Another one is to save the bandwidth. The first type, the objective of AM double sideband suppressed carrier. This is the corresponding picture representation. The first one is the conventional method, double sideband, the full carrier is available. The second type is double sideband suppressed carrier. Here you can see in the diagram, the center frequency, the carrier frequency is missing. So that means that is suppressed or removed after performing modulation. We are performing the modulation by using the carrier signal. After modulation, before transmission, we are going to remove only the carrier frequency component. So when you are going to remove that carrier signal, it will become as double sideband suppressed carrier. Already we are discussed the carrier will consume 67% of power. That 67% of power saved by using double sideband suppressed carrier. But here the both upper and lower sidebands are available. That's why there is no bandwidth saving in this particular type. So the next one is single sideband suppressed carrier. We are already discussed both the sidebands are having same information. Whatever may be the information available in the upper sideband, the same information is available in the lower sideband also. That's why the next type is we are going to allow only one sideband, upper sideband or lower sideband. Any one sideband sufficient to transmit the information signal. In this method, we are saving power by removing the carrier. We are saving the bandwidth by removing any one sideband. So that's why if you are removing one sideband from this particular frequency spectrum, almost we are saving 50% of the bandwidth. So that's why that is a special type of single sideband suppressed carrier. So this is the comparison between various types of amplitude modulation. The first type is conventional method of AM double sideband full carrier. The second one is double sideband suppressed carrier. Third one is single sideband suppressed carrier. The fourth one is vestigial sideband. In the first type, it is a double sideband along with the carrier signal. Here the double sideband is available without carrier. It is having only one sideband and carrier also removed, and vestigial sideband, one full upper sideband, part of the lower sideband is available. The carrier is also present in vestigial sideband. Based on the bandwidth, double sideband full carrier is 2 FM, double sideband suppressed carrier is 2 FM, and single sideband suppressed carrier is FM, because we removed one sideband. And vestigial sideband, the bandwidth is in between FM and 2 FM. Here, less number of channels in a given frequency range, the number of station availability is less because it will consume a lot of bandwidth per station. Here also less number of stations because there is no saving of bandwidth. Here in this third category, single sideband suppressed carrier, more number of channels in a given frequency range because we are saved 50% of the bandwidth. Here moderate number of channels in a given frequency range. So comparing with AM double sideband full carrier, here more number of stations are available. Comparing with single sideband suppressed carrier, less number of channels available in VSB. Based on the power consumption, more power consumed by double sideband full carrier, moderate power consumed by double sideband suppressed carrier, and less power consumed by single sideband suppressed carrier. Vestigial sideband also consuming moderate power. How much of power saved in this particular different types of amplitude modulation? Full carrier 0% of power saved, and double sideband suppressed carriers by removing the carrier signal 67.7% of power we are saved by removing the carrier signal. And single sideband suppressed carrier we have saved 83.3% of power because we are removed carrier and also one sideband. So here we are saving almost 75% of power if you are removed the carrier. So if you are not removed the carrier, the 75% is not possible. So the transmission efficiency is 33.3%, and double sideband suppressed carrier, both upper and lower sidebands are having information. That's why 100%. Single sideband suppressed carrier, any one sideband also having full information 100%, and vestigial sideband in between 33.33% and less than 100%. As per the reconstruction at the receiver end, easy at the receiver end to reconstruct the original information signal. It is moderately difficult in double sideband suppressed carrier, difficult reconstruction in the single sideband suppressed carrier. Here also in vestigial sideband, difficult reconstruction. No need of synchronization in double sideband full carrier. Tracking must be required in double sideband suppressed carrier, and synchronization is required in single sideband suppressed carrier. In vestigial sideband also synchronization is required. Application wise, for long distance communication above almost 150 kilometers and all, the normal AM radio stations using double sideband full carrier. The special types like double sideband suppressed carrier and single sideband suppressed carrier utilized in telegraph and telephone communication, and vestigial sideband we are utilizing in the television communication, analog television communication. We are using vestigial sideband AM modulation technique. Thank you all watching this particular video. So in future I am going to post more number of videos in this particular subject. So if you like, You can like, comment, share and subscribe. Thank you.